Hi, my name's Philip Marvin and I'm looking for my father, Martin Yankee. I was adopted as a baby. I'm of Samoan descent, but I have grown up knowing nothing of my culture or my family history. Being a father now myself, it's really important to me to be able to pass on any knowledge to my daughter as she grows up.
I'm in Tauranga to meet 45-year-old Phil Marvin. Once a successful bodybuilder, he now works in the carpet industry, is married to the love of his life, Anne, and they have a 5-year-old daughter, Jessica. Adopted as a baby, Phil was raised with a younger brother who was also adopted from another family. But it was not a happy childhood.
Had its moments. It wasn't great, to be honest, but they had their own troubles. Unfortunately, couldn't cope with certain situations, and both myself and my brother probably suffered for it.
Phil's parents were alcoholics and often abusive. He had periods in foster care and health camps.
I really couldn't express myself, because it was one of those things, if you open your mouth at the wrong time, you got a beating. I had a lot of resentment and anger towards my adopted parents at the time. I felt really lost. I had a lot of teasing at school. The phrase was half-caste back in the day, and I didn't fit anywhere.
Having no idea about his parents' ethnicity when growing up, Phil wasn't confident identifying as Pākehā, Maori or Pacific Islander.
It's a bit cliche, but sort of every day at school hoping your real parents will come pick you up, and it's all been a big mistake and a mix-up at the hospital, and they take you home and off to a better life. I mean, that was a very real thought every day, but you know, that wasn't reality.
At age 13, Phil walked out of his abusive household and made his own way in the world, at times sleeping rough. By age 17, he was flatting and working multiple jobs, but struggled to know his place.
I sort of shut down and compartmentalised a lot, and I've been quite a loner most of my life, always quite reserved.
Clearly you've changed. What prompted that?
I think my wife's got a lot to do with it, and her family. They have truly given me the support I've been lacking my whole life.
Wife Anne, a professional singer, has been with Phil for 17 years. She knows how important this search is for him.
I feel like it really does affect his everyday life. He puts these walls up, whether he wants to or not, even with me.
What was he like when you met him?
An angry young man. You could see the struggle, you can see it in his face. All the time he carries it around. You can see there's a heaviness.
But a lot of good in him too?
He's loyal, he's fiercely loyal. He's so unique, there's no one like him. And he is a wonderful, wonderful dad and a wonderful husband. And he needs this. He deserves this.
As a 22-year-old, Phil's attention turned to finding his birth parents. He obtained his adoption records and made contact with his Pākehā birth mother, Irene. She told him she'd been in love with his father, a Samoan with German ancestry, named Martin Yankee. But then Irene heard that Martin was to be married to a Samoan woman, and he left for Samoa before she realised she was pregnant. Irene wanted to keep baby Phil, but she was young and was devastated when her parents organised his adoption without her consent.
Knowing that they did love each other, and it wasn't just, you know, like a word one-night stand, you know, they were in a committed relationship and things like that. Small things like that do matter.
Birth mother Irene helped Phil track down his dad Martin, and they talked briefly on the phone. A letter was exchanged, but then contact stopped. Today, Phil has a good ongoing relationship with his birth mother and her children. But something is missing. To find your dad, what would it mean to you?
I feel it's going to put some stuff to rest within myself, which I hope will also make me a better father to my daughter, because I have a very real fear of not being good enough for her. I have such a love for my daughter. I just want nothing but the best for her. So I want to be the best me I can be.
I start my search for Martin Juncker. With too many on Facebook, I need to narrow down the field. I know he was living in Australia 20 years ago, so while in Australia for another story, I head to the electoral offices in Melbourne to search their national records. And I'm in luck. There are only 2 Martin Junkers on record. I pick one in Brisbane and give him a call.
Hello?
Oh, hello, is that Martin?
Yeah? Who am I speaking to?
Martin, look, my name is David Lomas. I help people find lost family members.
Yeah?
Well, a man from Tauranga in New Zealand believes that a Martin Juncker is his father. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, Philip Marvin.
Yes, that's exactly who he is. You're aware he's your son?
Yes. We was corresponding in a very long time ago, but we lost contact.
Well, he would very much like to meet you.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear.
Well, I'm in Australia at the moment, and I was wondering if there's any chance I could come and see you and talk to you about this, and then to show you a video message that Phil has done for you.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right, I'll try and figure out what I can do.
Look, that's fantastic. Thanks, Martin. Ex-bodybuilder Phil Marvin has always struggled to make sense of his adoption and his troubled childhood. He is desperate to reconnect with his birth father, Martin Juncker. I've tracked him down in Australia. You're aware he's your son?
Yes.
Martin agrees to meet me, and a few days later I'm in Brisbane and heading to the suburb of Strathpine. You must be Martin?
I am.
I'm David. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for agreeing to meet me. As I said to you on the phone, your son Phil is looking for you. I mean, what happened? Why do you not know Phil?
Well, it happened many years ago when we were young. I went to Samoa, spent a year and a bit there. When I came back, I was looking for her. And I was told that she's moved on. And then I hear that from a friend of hers that she's adopted the baby out. So I tried to locate it, but I couldn't find any records no more.
Did you know she was pregnant at all?
Yeah, I knew she was pregnant. She told me that she was pregnant. But I said, wait for me, I'll be back. I came back, she's gone.
And what would you have done had you been able to find Phil then?
If I find Phil, I'll go back and marry his mum.
You never saw your son when he was a baby? Or?
No, I never did.
That must have been tough.
Very tough.
Martin, who worked as a road traffic controller, married his wife Heva 2 years after Phil was born, and they have 3 children. He is now retired. When I rang up and said that Phil's looking for you, how was that for you?
I was over the moon, mate. I was so happy that finally I'm gonna meet my long lost son.
You don't know anything about Phil's life, what happened to him?
None at all.
Well, Phil has done a video message which he's asked me to show you, so if you were to push that black button there, the guy talking will be your son.
Hi Martin, I'm Phil, I'm your son. if possible, I'd really love to meet you, sit down, look at you face to face, man to man, and see where I've come from. I've grown up not knowing who I look like, where I get features from, why I am the way I am. I've had a void which I just haven't been able to explain, and it's come to the realisation to me that I need to have a sit down and an ending to the situation. So if at all possible, please meet me.
You're welcome, man. He looks just like me. I don't know what to say. I'm so happy that you've arranged this, David.
He's had a bit of a tough life, old Phil. Sadly, he was adopted into a family which was pretty dysfunctional, and the way he describes it, his parents drank a bit too much and were a bit violent, and he ended up out on his own, on sort of almost on the streets.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm lost for words, David.
So that's Phil. You'd be happy to meet him?
I would love to meet him.
So I can go back to New Zealand and tell him that...
Make it sooner. I can't wait. He's welcome into my world. He can come here and live with us, do whatever he wants.
So I'm back to Tauranga to see if the good news I have will lift some of the burden Phil's been carrying around for years. Your dad, have you ever seen a photograph? Have you got any idea what he looks like?
Never seen a photograph. I believe we've got similar facial features, but I wouldn't know him if I saw him. I can only imagine. I mean, I would wish you'd have instant recognition, but that I don't know.
And then last time I was here, you were talking about it being major for Phil. I mean, how's it been waiting while we've been searching?
Emotional, a massive emotional roller coaster. If Phil gets to meet his father, this huge weight is just going to be lifted off his shoulders, and he carries it around with him all the time.
And Phil, you said you wanted to look your dad in the eye. And what were you hoping to see?
I guess just to look into the man's eyes and see my father. It's as simple as that.
Something familiar.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, when you're growing up, not knowing who you look like and sort of things like that, it just might make more sense to me.
Well, I've spoken to Martin, your dad, and he says if you are happy to go to Australia, he'll sit down and look you in the eye.
Oh my God.
He's quite keen to meet you.
Don't know what to say.
This is going to change everything.
It's going to mean a lot.
I suppose it's pretty obvious, but you'd be happy to go to Australia?
Absolutely.
So he's in Australia.
He's in Brisbane.
Let's go.
Yeah.
This isn't real. Ugh.
Usually at this point, it's a simple matter of booking flights. But each time I try to contact Phil's dad, Martin, he won't commit to a date.
Can I ring you after the 17th and we'll work it from there?
I've called him a few times, and he fobs me off.
Don't worry, you'll definitely get my call.
Something has clearly changed. It's been more than 5 months now. It feels like Martin is deliberately avoiding meeting his son. "45-year-old Phil Marvin has wanted to find Martin Yonker, his birth father, his whole life. I've tracked Martin down in Brisbane, and he's keen to meet his son.
I can't wait.
But 5 months have now passed, and I can't get Martin to commit to a time to meet Phil. It's getting harder to explain to Phil and his wife Anne why the reunion is not going ahead. Finally, I get to the heart of the matter.
Oh, I had a heart operation about a month ago.
Martin, it seems, has had a serious health scare.
Oh, I'm doing much better. I haven't given up on you and meeting my son.
So the following week, I'm back in Brisbane and keen to get the full story from Martin. You've been really quite ill, haven't you?
Yeah, I was. Had a bit of a heart problem.
Was it life-threatening?
It was. It was an irregular heartbeat. It was more than 139. It's better now, but now it's not as dangerous as before.
The message Phil did, which I showed you last time I was here, I mean, you said you got it out and showed it to your family. How was that?
Well, when they all stood beside me and had a look at it, there was silence in the room. And after that, everybody had tears in their eyes. They were so happy they want to meet him.
Phil, his wife Anne and daughter Jessica have flown from Tauranga to Brisbane for the meeting they feared would never happen. And it's time for me to explain to them how touch and go it's really been.
The reason for the delay is your dad's been really, really crook, and he's been in hospital a few times, and it's a bit of a heart condition.
Oh, really?
So it's probably a very good time for you to catch up with him.
Finally, yeah, we're here. You know, it's still a bit surreal.
Now, the reunion that both parties have been looking forward to is finally about to happen.
So Phil, if you were to just look over your left shoulder, and can you see that man standing just down there?
Yeah.
Well, that's your dad.
Go and say hello to him. Look after him, man.
Thank you. He's tall.
You okay?
A bit lost for words. I can see a slight resemblance.
This is everything
Yeah.
is now.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God. You got this.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally. Hello. We met at last. How are you? How you been? You well? At the moment, yeah.
You've been longing for this day for long.
You and me both. It's incredible. I hope you're happy to meet me.
No, no.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, I just can't believe it.
This is a new beginning.
Yes, exactly. Now, this is my beautiful wife, Anne.
It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you? It's lovely to meet you. Sorry, I'm crying. How are you? God, you look just like him, don't you?
And this little gem over here is your granddaughter, Jessica, who will come over shortly.
You look just like me.
I can see it. I can see it.
You got brothers and sister to meet.
I look forward to it.
And I think they don't want you to go back. It was the most beautiful thing in the world. To see him, hug him, talk to him. It's a miracle.
This is Martin. This is your grandfather.
Come here, darling.
Aww. Look how happy she is.
Happy to meet you, Grandpa. You're so pretty.
I still can't get over being able to look at someone and see some similarity. There are things which just fall into place. A life's worth of questions are starting to make sense. To have him hug me back and not want to let go, I can't describe how that's affecting me.
I don't think there's any words to describe it. This has changed his whole life.
Then Martin reveals that this meeting almost didn't happen.
I prayed all the time to see you.
Yeah. Hey, look,
I almost didn't make it.
we're here now. We're here now. We're here now. We're there, lose touch.
It feels like I've just won the golden lotto.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to meeting the rest of the family.
Yeah, too. Yeah, too.
He's softened. The whole thing, the hard man, it's softened. Something's definitely changed. Yeah, it's really exciting.
It's like a dream. It just truly is. I just can't fathom it. Even though we've only just met, I feel a genuine sense I know this man. I think it's going to put to rest a lot of things I've been carrying around with me all my life. So it's something I've wanted for so long.
That evening, Phil gets to meet his siblings, nieces and nephews. And not one member of Martin's family was missing from the special first meeting of their newly found relative.
So we're going to have to see who's got the best pictures from last night, because I want a big picture.
Yeah.
To turn up to have a family dinner, and all of a sudden there's like a tribe of people, lost count, something like 30 people, and they're all just welcoming. It was just such a special feeling, and to just fit, couldn't dreamed it would have gone better.
I've never seen Phil fit in and feel as peaceful as he did when we were with our family. Our family now. It was incredible. The best ever. Better than we ever dreamed.
Phil is now in regular contact with his new family, and there are plans for a big get-together in Samoa next year. Anne and Phil are expecting another child, and it means the world to Phil that his children will have the knowledge of their Samoan side.
I was looking for some sort of closure. I have that. It's exciting what the future's going to bring. Yeah.